Welcome to the Daily Decant, your 5-minute briefing on the world of wine. Each episode delivers practical insights to help you choose, order, and talk about wine with more confidence in everyday social settings. Let's get into today's decant. It's Friday, we're doing Merlot week, and today's episode takes Merlot out of France and California and Washington and shows you the wider picture. Because one of the most compelling arguments for Merlot's global potential comes from a place most wine drinkers don't associate with the grape at all, the coast of Tuscany. Masseto, made by the Frescobaldi family from a single 15-hectare plot of blue clay soil on the slopes of the Hornalia estate near Bulgari. This is 100% Merlot, first produced as a standalone wine in 1986 after the family recognized that a heavy marine clay soil of that specific plot produced a character of Merlot completely distinct from anything around it. The wine is rich, powerful, and densely textured with extraordinary depth and aging potential, drawing frequent comparisons to Great Pomerol, particularly Petrus, given the shared affinity for blue clay soils. Masseto sells for upwards of $350 per bottle in recent vintages and is one of the most sought-after wines in Italy. Regularly outperforming famous names from Barolo and Brunello in international auctions, it is, by any objective measure, one of the world's great wines, and it is entirely uncompromisingly Merlot. The broader Italian context is that Merlot appears across Italy from the northeastern regions of Friuli and Trentino, where it produces lighter, fresher styles suitable for everyday drinking, to the Veneto, where it blends into Valpolicella and various Indicazione Geografica Tipica wines. But it's in Tuscany, particularly in the coastal zone of Bulgari, that we discovered during Cabernet Week, when we discussed the Super Tuscan Revolution, where Merlot has achieved its most ambitious Italian expression. The same conditions that allow Sassicaya's Cabernet Sauvignon to thrive, the gravelly, well-draining coastal soils, the moderating maritime influence of the Tyrrhenian Sea, the diurnal temperature variation from mountain air, also suit Merlot beautifully in the heavier clay pockets where Masseto and similar wines are produced. Next, Chile. We covered Chilean wine in some depth during Cabernet Sauvignon Week, but Chile's Merlot's story is worth its own moment here. Chilean Merlot has historically been overshadowed by the country's Carmenere, but serious Merlot from the cooler coastal valleys, particularly Casablanca and San Antonio, is producing wines of real freshness and character. The cool Pacific influence in these valleys prevents the over-ripeness that can plague Merlot in warmer sites, and the resulting wines have a brightness and food friendliness that's immediately appealing. At $12 to $22, Chilean Merlot from quality producers represents some of the best everyday value in the category. Producers to know are Casa L'Apostol from the Rapel Valley, making consistently reliable Merlot at this price point. And a quick look at a few other regions producing interesting Merlot. Friuli, Venezia Giulia in northeastern Italy produces crisp, fresh mineral Merlot that is excellent with food, lighter than the Tuscan examples, but with genuine character at accessible prices. Typically $12 to $20. It's the Merlot you want with a plate of antipasti or grilled white fish, approachable and honest without any pretension. The Languedoc in southern France produces straightforward, honest Merlot that represents everyday value at $10 to $15, often blended with Syrah and Cabernet Sauvignon to add structure and regional character. And, perhaps surprisingly, New Zealand's Hawke's Bay on the North Island produces Merlot of genuine ambition, with a cool maritime influence providing freshness alongside the region's characteristic warmth, producing wines with a distinctly Bordeaux-like balance that can age nicely over 5 to 8 years. The producer Craggy Range is the name most associated with serious Hawke's Bay Merlot and is worth seeking out if you encounter it. The global picture here is that Merlot is one of the most widely planted red wine grapes on earth for a reason. It adapts well to an enormous range of climates and soils, ripens reliably, and produces wines that are naturally more approachable in their youth than many other noble varieties. At its best, the Masseto and Petrus and the finest Washington state examples demonstrate it's capable of wines of extraordinary complexity and longevity that age as gracefully as anything in the wine world. At its most accessible, it provides honest, food-friendly pleasures at prices that make it one of the most practical categories to build an everyday drinking habit around. And the common thread across all the best examples, whether from Pomerol or the Tuscan coast or Walla Walla or the foothills of the Andes, is a velvety texture and a generous dark fruit character that makes Merlot uniquely enjoyable, young, while still rewarding patience in the cellar. That balance of accessibility and depth is genuinely rare in a fine wine, and Merlot has it, and it's always had it. Tomorrow, we'll do the complete practical buying guide for everything we've covered this week. You won't want to miss it. That's today's Daily Decant. If you found this helpful, be sure to subscribe and share with your friends so you can continue building your wine knowledge in just a few minutes a day. See you tomorrow for the next decant.